It's a pleasure to speak to you tonight, and I want to address a topic, that challenge of peace among Christians. I think it concerns all of us, no difference which denomination you are. So give me your attention for a second and imagine God in heaven wanting to have a huge family celebration. And he tells the angels, let's have a family celebration, and what do we as his children do? Instead of booking a big room like we have it here, we booked 45,000 small little hotel rooms. Because that's exactly what Christian denominations do. There are more than 45,000 Christian denominations. And I like diversity, but let me tell you, that is no longer just a little diversity. That is a theological Airbnb mega project. And I know every denomination have their own little, traditions, and it's no problem with it. Some they raise their hands and sing loud, others hardly raise an eyebrow. Some they sing so quiet that you don't hear the person next to you, and others turn up the volume so loud that the neighbors have to close their ears in fear for getting ear damage. And I like kind of the diversity, and I don't mind. I even think it doesn't have to be two opposites, unity and diversity. But let me tell you where this gets problematic. If we look at our traditions and we view them bigger than the core of Christianity, and that is loving your neighbor as ourselves, then we get to the condition that Christianity is in, where people fight over silly things. Literally, sometimes it's silly. There's arguments about music styles where the intensity gets to a level where you think, does the return of Christ depend on that, or why is it so important? Let me tell you, I love diversity, but unity is more important than that. As a Christian pastor, I often get asked, so which denomination are you from? And I get very surprised reactions if I tell them I'm actually not part of a denomination, because the Church of God isn't just another denomination. God called us out of denominations. It never was God's will for us to be captured and caught in 45,000 rooms. It never was God's will. Actually, the Bible tells us that Jesus died not just for the sins of the world. Most people think that was the reason why Jesus died, but that's not all of it. Jesus also died to bring all of his children into one and into unity. And so we are called to be one big family of God. One family of every culture, every denomination, every skin color, every background. One big family of God. One church of God. I'm so glad that this longing for Christian unity moves a lot of people all over the world. And I'm so glad that HWPL recently organized an International Christian Peace Academy where over 600 pastors from over 61 countries came together to study the Word. And big surprise, nobody got killed, nobody got beat up. It actually was a profitable time of working together, because it works. Unity and diversity don't have to be opposites. Somewhat surprisingly, and perhaps almost a little embarrassing, is that Europe was the least represented. Of all places in the world, here in Europe, where we have such a rich Christian heritage, where we have so many churches built over the centuries, where we have a lot of history, a lot of reformers that started movements, in this continent, we have the least participation. And so I want to talk to you religious leaders in here, and I want to encourage us to take responsibility to fight for peace. Because peace and fighting for something, those two things go together. You would think, well, peace and fighting, they don't sound alike. I want to tell you, Jesus said in the famous Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the peacemakers. Many of us know the Bible, we know this verse, but I want to pull out one thing here. The term peacemakers tells us that it takes active action to have peace. Peace is not just the absence of a fight. Otherwise, if we don't pick another war, we have peace. But let me tell you something. Peace takes activity. To establish peace, it takes real people with real burdens, with a heart for peace, and to maintain it and to keep it also is an effort. And so I want to encourage us to be active peacemakers, because we, the religious leaders, actually have the keys to those rooms. And we can use those keys to lock the people into their rooms and keep them separate, or we can use those keys to open doors and to invite each other to one big room of peace, of love, and of reconciliation for the world. I want to encourage you religious leaders, let's be active peacemakers. Sometimes it even takes a little more than just the keys. Sometimes we need peace hammers to tear down walls of separation. Everybody of us can tear down a beam of distrust and of looking down on the other. And let's create together the big house of God. Let's create a foundation where every stone is laid in love. And let's not wait for tomorrow. Let's start today, and I believe we can change the world for the better and be a house of love, a house of God, where all the brothers and sisters have a place. Thank you for listening. May God bless you.